Right. Good morning, good people. Welcome once again to the class of mathematics, grade 7. And my name once again is Henrik Makaneta. And today we will carry on with our mathematical work in as far as the different algebraic expressions are concerned, where we will have to find the different values of y in as far as the outputs are concerned. Now we'll look at x and y values, and of course, these are algebraic expressions. Consider the following table. We have a table in our midst here, and we're given the x values. As you can see in the table, I've got the x values which range from -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, and 3. Can you see those values? Now, I want us to find the value of y in each case. What I want you to do now is just to use the given values of x to find the y values. For instance, if x is equal to -2, we need to substitute this in our equation. And of course, our equation is given by the y is equal to -2x minus 2. So basically, this is our equation, which is y is equal to -2x minus 2. Basically, this is nothing but just the rule. If you remember the rule, basically this is the rule, and then all that you need to do is to substitute every value of x. So I'll demonstrate with the first one. If x is equal to -2, then y is going to be equal to -2 into -2, and then you close your bracket, and of course you subtract the 2. So basically, as you can see in the group chat, I've just demonstrated to you that if x is -2, then y will be equal to -2 into -2 and then minus 2. So basically, you just substitute the correct value of y. And in this case, the value of x is -2, and then we will be able to find the value of y. So basically, we use x in order to find y. Remember, it's very important to know that the x values are also known as the independent values, whereas the y values are known as the dependent values. Right. So we will demonstrate that if you multiply a -2 by -2, remember that when you multiply a negative number with a negative number, you get a positive number. So -2 times -2 is +4. And then, of course, your equation then becomes y is equal to 4 minus 2. So basically, that is your equation. And as you can see, what is 4 minus 2? What do you get? So the value of y will be 4 minus 2. And what is 4 minus 2? Is there anyone who wants to answer that? So 4 minus 2 will be 2. Therefore, y will be equal to 2, as you can see. So basically, this is how you proceed in relation to the table that we have here in our midst. So you can see that I've solved the first one there, y is equal to -2x minus 2. Can we now just proceed to look at the welcome, Fizana? Can we now look at the next one where x is -1? So if x is -1, then what is the value of y? So if x is equal to -1, what is the value of y? Use the equation y is equal to -2x minus 2. Remember to use that equation. So in other words, where there is x, we are now going to put y again. So I'm going to demonstrate once again that this becomes y is equal to -2 open bracket -1, and then you close your bracket, and then -2. So basically, this is how you proceed. And then you will remember once again that when you multiply a negative number with a negative number, you get a positive number. So in other words, -2 times -1 gives you 2. Therefore, y is equal to 2 minus 2. All right. So y will be equal to 2 minus 2. And what is 2 minus 2 there? So 2 minus 2 will be 0. Therefore, y is equal to 0. Okay. Now, can we just carry on with the next one? And of course, just to demonstrate, we have x equal to 0 now. What is the value of y if x is 0? What will be the value of y if x is 0? So I want you to just demonstrate and show me what is with the value there. What will be the value of y if x is 0 now? Fizana says, I see you say 0. Were you answering the previous one that was answered by Angelina? Right, I hope you are referring to the previous one when x is -1. When x is -1, then the y value there is 0. But if x is 0, what is the value of 1? What is the value of y if x is 0? So if x is 0, how do you calculate y? What is the value of y there? iPhone says if x is 0, then the value of y would be 0. Well, you again use the same equation. Remember that the equation says y is equal to -2x minus 2. And then where there is x, you are now going to put 0, and this is -2 into 0 minus 2. Basically, this is how you do it. And then can we now multiply -2 by 0? If you multiply any number by 0, you get 0. And then, of course, this simply means y will be equal to 0 minus 2. So because -2 times 0 is 0. And what is 0 minus 2? 0 subtract 2 gives you -2. So in other words, if x is 0, then y is going to be -2. That is how you calculate your y value. If x is equal to 0, and then y will be -2. So that is what we mean by that. And then the next one, of course, is if x is 1. If x is 1, let's calculate now the value of y. So as always, you need to remember that the equation plays an important role. So you need to use the same equation that is given here, and then you can start substituting now. Remember that when you substitute, Now where there is x, you are going to put 1. And then, of course, this is how we proceed. So y is equal to -2, open bracket, and then you put your 1 there, and then subtract 2. Then you subtract 2 there. So -2 times 1 will be -2. So y is equal to -2 minus 2, as you can see there. Because if you multiply a negative number with a positive number, you get a negative. So the answer there will be y is equal to -2 minus 2. And what is the final answer? What is -2 minus 2? What do you get? Everyone? If you subtract, okay, Huapil says you get 0. And then others, what do you get? iPhone says it's -2. Right? Others? Fizana says 0, agreeing with Huapili there. Remember, -2 minus 2 is the same as adding the two negative numbers. So it's the same as -2 plus -2. All right. So when you add the two negative numbers, the answer will be negative. I see Nolo also says it will be 4, and then you put in the negative sign. So it will be -4, yes. So therefore, y is going to be equal to -4. Thank you very much, everyone. Nolwazi, thank you very much indeed. Nolwazi got it right. So now, can we now look at the second one when x is 2? What is the value of y if x is 2? Once more, please use the equation. So I'm just going to demonstrate again. You will have enough chance to do some of these activities. So the main thing here is to use the equation. So y is equal to -2x minus 2. And then y will be equal to -2, and then you open your bracket. And where there is x now, we are going to put 2. And then, of course, minus 2. So basically, this is how you proceed. Y is equal to -2 multiplied by 2, and then minus 2. So y will be equal to -2 times 2 will be -4. And then, of course, you have -4 minus 2. So what is -4 minus 2? This is just the same as adding a negative number with a negative number. If you add -4 and -2, Fizana says -4. Remember, you're adding 4 and 2. When you see those two signs, -4 minus 2, this means you just have to add 4 and 2. What is 4 plus 2? Fizana? 4 plus 2 will be 6. But remember, there's a negative sign. So you're adding two negative numbers, therefore, -6 is the answer. Yes, I agree. Angelina Dube there and Pele, I fully agree with you. Can we do the last one now? If x is 3. Can we now do the last one? If x is 3, what is the value of y? Just by demonstrating. X is equal to 3. What will be the value? Once again, you utilize the same equation. The equation hasn't changed. You use the same equation. I see that Huapele says 5. All right. How did you find 5, Huapele? Do you mind sharing your method with me? How did you find 5? In fact, Fizana also find 5. So basically, yes, you will multiply, or you'll rather substitute x with 3, and then your equation will be as follows. You'll have y is equal to -2, open bracket, 3, and then, of course, -2. So I see Nolwazi has already found -8. And then, of course, this means that you are multiplying -2 by 3 to get -6. So Nolwazi is correct. The answer will be -8, because if you add now -6 and -2, then you'll definitely get -8. So as Nolwazi said, the answer will be -8. So I do hope that you have seen this example. So can we now proceed to the new, or the next table rather? And now I'm giving you a chance to also demonstrate your knowledge in as far as finding the missing values are concerned. Can you now use the previous example as a just to answer the following? Remember the 10x minus 7, that is the value of y. So in other words, y is equal to 10x minus 7. So basically, this is your equation. So basically, this is the equation. So y is now 10x minus 7. So we need to use the same method that I've just taught you, just to find the different values there. Now, the method that we're going to use now is the same as the previous one. And you need to now put in the x values. So if x is equal to -3, what is the value of y? Of y. In other words, what is 10x minus 7? If x is -3, what is the value of 10x minus 7? So once again, where there is x, you're now going to substitute that value with -3. So therefore, you'd have 10 into -3, because now you are minusing, or you are subtracting 3 there. I see that 10 into -3 will give you -30. Because remember, you're multiplying 10 by -3. So if you multiply 10 with -3, you get -30. So Nolwazi already found the answer there, and Nolwazi says the answer is -37. I agree with you. Nolwazi, that's the correct answer, because if you just add 30 and 7, Angelina Due also found -37. Fizana found -7. Fizana, unless if you were multiplying by 0. If you multiply by 0, yes, you will get -7, because remember that 10 times 0 is 0, and then -7. Oh, are you already doing the next one? The fourth one, in fact, Fizana. Right, if x is -2 now, what will be the value of y quickly? If x is -2, so you just have to substitute the value there. What is the value? What is the value? Angelina says -27, right? -27. And of course, I want to agree with you. Angelina Nolazi also got negative 27. Great. Fizana got negative 27, and then Huapili as well got negative 27. Yes, indeed. Remember 10x minus 7 simply means that you can just multiply 10 by negative 2, and then you subtract 7. So this will lead to negative 10, in fact, negative 20. Negative 20 minus 7. So that will be negative 27. Can we now use negative 1? Please, let's use negative 1 as the next term. Right, let's use negative 1, and then I see Huapili is still busy. Angelina has found it already, saying negative 17, followed by Mudiehi. Correct. Now I'm glad that you are able to substitute correctly than before. So negative 17 will be the correct answer in this instance because you are going to multiply 10 by negative 1. Remember, 10 times negative 1 is negative 10. And then negative 10 minus 7 is negative 17. Great. Let's use 0 now. Fizana, you have a chance now. The answer that you gave earlier on was the answer for 0. So if x is 0, now, thank you very much, Huapele. If x is 0, then can we proceed? If x is 0, once again, you substitute. You are now going to substitute the value of x, which is now 0. And then remember that if you multiply 10 by 0, you get 0. And 0 minus 7 is negative 7. I don't know if you want me to demonstrate, I can do so. Remember that y is equal to 10x minus 7. And of course, we say that x is 0, then you just substitute. So it will be 10 times 0 minus 7. 10 times 0 is 0, and then 0 minus 7 is negative 7. So the correct answer there is negative 7. Earlier on, Fizana was able to demonstrate. So Angelina also got negative 7. I hope that I am not too fast. I see Becky Temba also got negative 7. Great. I hope that I'm not moving so fast. Right. Let's do the remaining ones, 1, 2, and 3. So you can start with 1. What will be the value of y if x is 1? Quickly, can you substitute that? I think you can also do it by inspection. You can see that if x is 1, then you'll have 10 times 1. And what is 10 times 1? 10 multiplied by 1 is 10. And then you'll have 10 minus 7. What is the final answer? What is the final answer if x is 1? What is the final answer? I see Huapili says negative 17. Just double check Huapili. Remember the equation 10x minus 7. That is what we have, 10x. Right, iPhone got 3. Angelina Dube also got 3. Great, I fully agree with you. Remember, if you multiply 10 by 1, you get 10. All right. When you multiply 10 by 1, you get 10. And of course, this means that 10 times 1, since it's 10, then you'll have 10 minus 7. And 10 minus 7 is, Nolwazi said, it's 3. So Nolwazi also got it right, together with Becky Temba and then Fizana as well. Right. If x is 2, let's find the correct value now. If x is 2, let's find the value of y. If x is 2, let's find the correct value of y there. if x is equal to 2, right? I hope that you are probably done by now. Remember, like I said earlier on, you can also do it by inspection. In other words, you can just multiply your 10 there by 2 to get 20. Remember that 10 multiplied by 2 is 20, and thereafter you'll have 20 minus 7. Becky Temba and Angelina Dube found the correct answer there, which is 13. I see that 13 is the correct answer. Yes, it is so because 20 subtract 7. When you subtract 7 from 20, you get 13. I see Nolwazi has just finished. Even Nolwazi found the answer to be 13. Great. And the last one when x is 3. This is the last one now. What will be the value if x is 3? What will be the value of y? I see Becky Temba was the first to find 23. So 23 is the correct answer there. According to Becky Temba, together with Huapele and Humo, they say the value will be 23. Angelina Dube as well, 23. So I hope that you can now see that if you multiply 10 by 3, you get 30. And then 30 minus 7 is 23. Great. Great stuff. So we are having another activity before we can move to the new class activity. Can we now proceed? We now have the x values ranging from x, which is -3, and then to +3.
Sir, when is our next test?
Your next test will be on Monday. Your next test will be on Monday. Remember, you were supposed to have written your assessments this past Monday, but then the management had to postpone the assessments just so that we finalize some of the work that is required. So this whole week until tomorrow, then we will just be teaching. Then on Monday, you will definitely have your assessments. All right. Right. So the first one, there, you have x equals to -3. X is equal to -3. Mudehi, I see you also have a question there. And then, of course, we will get every detail from the management in as far as the report cards are concerned, if there's going to be any. But please note that the initial ones will be the informal assessments, which will be taken on Monday. So I see Nolwazi already found a -8. If you multiply -3 by 3, you get -9, and then -9 minus 2. So Nolwazi, I'm tempted to disagree with you now. Remember our formula is 3x minus 2. Begitemba found -7. I see that Begitemba, you almost got it, but you did not add the 2. You subtracted 2 from -9. Remember, if the formula is 3x, then if x is -3, then you'll definitely have x into -3. So it will be 3 into -3 minus 2. So basically, this is what you'll have. Yes, Angelina found it, the correct answer there, which will be negative 11. Fizana, the answer is right, but now the sign. Remember, the sign is very important. So if you miss out on the sign, remember you are adding two negative numbers, Fizana, and of course, that should be negative 11, so not positive, right? I'm sure you can fix that. And the next one again, you can just substitute the value of x, which is negative 2, and then 3 into negative 2, and then minus 2. So basically, this is what you'll have. And 3 times negative 2 gives you negative 6. And of course, someone was talking about negative 8. I think, uh, yes, negative 8 will be the correct answer there. Angelina Dube got it right. Huapeli and Lehumo also got it right. And who else? So far, it's just the two of you. Right, can we quickly finish the table? Let's go now to negative 1, and then we can be sure to do the next one. Right, Fizana also got negative 8, and then Nolwazi got negative 8. Great. Great, Nolwazi and Fizana, as well as Beggy Temba, yes, Beggy Temba as well. I see you just finished. Great. Now that we are done with that one, can we now zoom directly into negative 1? Let us zoom directly now into negative 1. Right, Huapile and Luhumo, thank you very much indeed. If x is negative 1, then you are just going to have, remember that 3x minus 2 is our expression, or rather the algebraic expression. And if you put it into the equation, y is equal to 3x minus 2. And Angelina Dube got negative 5, and I'm tempted to agree with you. I fully agree with Angelina Dube. Negative 5 will be our answer. Remember, how do we get it? It's negative 3, and then you multiply it by negative 1. In fact, by 1, sorry. Negative 2. So you got negative 5. Okay, yes. You multiply that with negative 1. Remember, it's actually positive 3 multiplied by negative 1. So I agree with you. And this will give you negative 3 minus 2, which will be negative 5. Nolwazi also got it right. Who else apart from Nolwazi and Angelina? I hope that some of you are still busy calculating. There's nothing wrong with that. Let's just ensure that we are able to do this. Let's just ensure that we are able to proceed. Right? And then we are done with that. Can we now, if x is 0 now, all right, I see Mujehi. Mujehi also found negative 5. Thank you very much, Mujehi. Huapili and Lihumo also found negative 5. Great. If x is 0 now, what will be the value? What will be the value there? what will be the value if x is negative 5? In fact, if x is 0, sorry, if x is 0, what will be the value there? So once again, we are called upon to ensure that we substitute the correct value, and the correct value in this case is 0 times 3, which is 0, and then 0 minus 2 is negative 2. So Huapili and Lihumu are the first. So negative 2 will be the answer there. So I agree with you, Huapili, negative 2. Lolo Azi also got negative 2. Angelina Dube also got negative 2. Great. Great. Fizana as well. Thank you very much. Great. Now we proceed. If x is 1, what will be the value there? What will be the value? Right? Fizana also got negative 2. And of course, I hope you are doing the previous one, Angelina Due. I agree with you. Right? Can someone mute there? Let's just mute. Otherwise, I'm gonna mute all of you there. Right? Can we proceed? If x is 0, then y is negative 2. If x is 1, then you'll have 3 multiplied by 1, which is 3, and then 3 minus 2 is 1. So thank you, Spiso, for meeting. So Angelina Dube got 1. So if x is 1, then y will also be 1. Okay, everybody got 1. Ikitemba Huapili. Right. Let's use 2 quickly. Let's use 2. Let us use 2. Let us use the next one, which is 2. 2 times 3 will be 6, and then 6 minus 2 is 4. Yes. Angelina, Begitemba, and Huapil, great. That is 4. So last one quickly, when x is 3. Last one, when x is 3, what is the value of y? 7, 7, 7. Angelina Dewey says 7. Okay, great. So 7 is the correct answer. So 3 times 3 is 9. 9 minus 2 is 7. The connection was a bit slow for a second there. I hope that you can still hear me now. Right. That is precisely what you do in order to find the different values. Now we also have a table here which I would have wanted us to do perhaps as a homework, where you need to complete the table, which consists of about 3 rows and several columns there. And then you need to just ensure that you use the method that we have used today to find the different values, the missing values there in the table. And I hope that this you can be able to do in your spare time. But then again, also the next one here, I hope that you are busy taking a screenshot. This one as well will be part of your homework, followed by the other one here, which is you also need to complete this table. So I've given you about 3 tables. which you need to use. You can see that in the first instance, you'll have to fill in this row where negative 2x minus 1 is found, and then the last one, 3x minus 6, and then you complete that row as well. And then I would have wanted us to do this one, but let us firstly look at a challenge. I'm just challenging you now. I'm giving you an expression here. This is basically an equation. So I want you to determine the value of x when y is equal to negative 2. So basically what I've given you here is an equation. You can see that there are two brackets there. X minus 3 into y plus 2. And this is equal to 0. So this is a bit different from the one that we just did. Huapili is requesting that we go back to the homework. All right, the homework basically consists of the following. This is the first slide of your homework. And of course, it will be followed by the next slide, which I'm just going to show you now. I hope that you are taking a screenshot of the homework. And then, of course, the next one will be followed by the one that we just did. Basically, you've got two different expressions, and then you can use those expressions to find the corresponding values. And the last one was this expression here. And then, of course, you can use that as well. I do hope that you have taken some screenshots. But before we can wrap up the lesson, I gave you a challenge. And this challenge, I said to you, just determine the value of x if y is negative 2. And then the second one, you need to find the value of y if x is negative, if x is 3, pardon me. So now if y is equal to negative 2, can you now demonstrate? Please put this on the group chat. Just show me whether the left-hand side will be equal to the right-hand side. Remember, the left-hand side is x minus 3 into y plus 2, and the right-hand side is 0. So if you can be able to balance this equation, I'll be happy. And you balance this by just using the given value of y in the first instance. And in the second instance, you use the value of x, which is 3. So can we do that? I know we are left with about 2 minutes, but if you can just do that, especially the one where y is equal to 2, negative 2 rather. Right, can we proceed? Can we now proceed? So basically what you do there is to demonstrate that you have got x minus 3, and then you close your bracket there. And then of course, you also have y plus 2. So basically that is what you have. And then if y is equal to negative 2, you should be able to use that in the equation. So you can see that. So if y is equal to negative 2, then you are simply going to substitute. So in other words, you'll have x minus 3 into negative 2 plus 2. So basically, that is what you'll have there, as you can see. So basically, that will be 0 because negative 2 plus 2 is 0. And then if you multiply that by x minus 3, 0 will be the answer. So the left-hand side will be equal to the right-hand side. Let me take this opportunity to thank you very much once again from the bottom of my heart. I want to encourage you once again to utilize our email address. If you have any queries, be it for tests or anything, send them through to STEM Digital School at africateengeeks.co.za. This lesson, as always, is brought to you by the STEM Digital School in partnership with the Sasol Foundation. Until we meet again tomorrow, thank you very much indeed.